Yeah, yes. What's that, Mr. President? The whole of South Africa and the rest of the world is going under lockdown and you need someone to create good quality content for absolutely everyone staying at home. Well, I guess if I have to be, I'll be the hero that everyone needs. What's that? You're not even the president of South Africa? And this isn't even a phone? Oh, but you weren't lying about creating good content for people at home, right? Hey everyone, it is Finn here, that is FYW, I hope you're all doing super well, and today we are doing a video, a Premier League squad, so it's going to be a squad of 11 players, because, you know, football has 11 players, duh. And these players are all going to represent a different position. Obviously, it's going to be a squad of players who deserve upgrades in FIFA 21, because, you know what, maybe their ratings right now don't really reflect how they are. So these players definitely do deserve an upgrade to show how good they really are, and you guys can tell me obviously if you agree. Let's start with the goalkeeper position. In the goalkeeper position, I did ask around Reddit and you guys gave me quite a few options. Of course, I think Ramsdale is an awesome one. I definitely could have put him there. Dean, obviously, Dean Henderson could really get an upgrade. But guys, the one I chose because the one who's had the most impact in Premier League in general, in my opinion, well, actually, Sheffield United's done pretty well, but the one I wanted to put in is actually Nick Pope from Burnley. I think he deserves a +4 upgrade for Burnley because he has been that good for them. 11 clean sheets. I think him and the whole of that Burnley defense definitely have amazed and surprised everyone. I think Nick Pope, obviously 89 saves. It's very good so far this season. He's gotten one big chance creation for a goalkeeper, that's pretty good, and only 2 major errors that have led to goals. And at the end of the day, I think he is the goalkeeper who definitely deserves an upgrade. Now, I do want to mention that everyone in this team that I'm going to mention is a first team player, so you guys must ask for a part 2 if you do want like a Reece James at right back and a Brandon Williams in left back. Players who aren't yet quite first team starters quite yet, you guys can ask for that. We move to the right back position and it is going to be another +4 rating. Now of course I wanted to put a player like Wan-Bissaka in, but I just wanted a bit of diversity in terms of the different players in the squad. So the one I ended up going with was Aarons from Norwich. I think looking at Aarons overall, he's such a good young right back for Norwich, and in the Premier League, he is a future star, don't you know? He has created 7 big chances for Norwich, which is pretty good for a fullback. He's got 79 passing accuracy so far this season, which is a very good stat. Only 5 clean sheets, but that's more down to Norwich themselves rather than him. I think that he does deserve a +4 rating boost, not quite 80 yet, but around that 77 mark. Him and Lewis, obviously the other fullback at Norwich, are looking very good, but overall I just decided to give this one to Aaron in that right back position. The first centre back that we do have, I am going to put a Manchester United player there.
Oh shit, here we go again.
With the +2, it is going to be Harry Maguire. No, I don't think Harry Maguire is the best centre back in the world, but I do believe that 82 is way too low to represent the highest paid or the most expensive defender in the world. And no, I'm not saying it's just because of the price he deserves the upgrade. He's genuinely been really good for Manchester United this season, and his leadership, and ever since he became captain, United has really improved over time. So I think 84 at least for Harry Maguire. I think going into the season, 82 was too low, and he did deserve an 84 in the beginning. I mean, he was so good for Leicester City, and for United, I mean, at least in that mid-80s position, because if you look at him compared to Virgil van Dijk, look, I'm not saying that he's as good as Virgil van Dijk, but I'm saying if you look at those 10 stats there, 5 of those Virgil van Dijk's better, 5 of those Harry Maguire's better. As I said, no, I'm not comparing him directly. Well, I am comparing them. What I'm saying is I do believe Harry Maguire should not be a below or a low 80s player. He definitely deserves to be 84. Next centre back, before I get into that, I do want to say I would have loved to choose Ben Mee. But at the end of the day, there are other centre-backs I did want to choose. It was going to be one of the Leicester centre-backs, and I did end up comparing them. Of course, it is Evans, and the other one, I'm not going to say the other one's names because his name sounds like a sneeze. And you know, quarantine is rough, man. I don't want to worsen it at all. So you know what? I'm going for Evans. I think Evans has had a really good season. 79 rating. I think he deserves a +2 to an 81 at least. Actually, I think both centre-backs for Leicester deserve an 81. But you know what? 8 clean sheets for Evans. It's really good. 139 clearances. And he is the most internationally capped and most decorated player at Leicester, which I was interested to find out. If only someone here created content and created a video on the most decorated player and the most internationally capped player at every Premier League club. Oh yeah, that's right. I did. Oh, that was a lame plug, even for me. Our last defender that we will put in this list is Ben Chilwell. I think Ben Chilwell has proven this season that he is a proper Premier League left back. He He has really, given himself a name so far this season, not just for Leicester, but for England as well, showing that maybe he could be a starter for them in the Euros. If the Euros actually ever end up happening now, I miss football so much. But Ben Chilwell, 3 assists, 2 goals, along with 25 interceptions and 8 clean sheets. At the end of the day, he's had a phenomenal season and does deserve a +2 to be an 82 rated left back. I think he's that good. And guys, overall, for an upgraded team, what do you guys think of this defense? I think that's a pretty good, solid defense in terms of upgrades. We get into the midfield, and guys, the midfield was actually the hardest for me because not a lot of midfielders have improved. I mean, Manchester City, I think all ratings are accurate. Same to do with Liverpool. Other teams, their midfield, it hasn't improved that much. And as I said, I want to do like first team quality players. The first one I will put in is going to be Fred from Manchester United. Now, of course, I'm limiting every team to only 2 players in this list. That's why only 2 Leicester players. This is my second United one. Fred, I mean, he's been so phenomenal for Manchester United. He is without a doubt their most improved player. And he is currently 80 rated. I think he deserves a +2. I think he should be an 82 rated player because, I mean, when it comes to tackles, his interceptions, his passing, he has improved by a landslide. He's second most completed passes in Manchester United. He's got second most tackles as well and the third most interceptions. I mean, as I said, the most improved player by far for United. It was either him or McTominay, and McTominay has struggled with injuries. So, of course, I've gone with Fred the Red. Second midfielder I've gone with, as I said, guys, I really struggled to find anyone who's actually, performed so far this season in midfield. And in this entire list, I didn't just want to go for, really good teams. I wanted to go, but relegation zone players, a few mid-table teams, and of course Champions/European teams. So what, guys, I'm going for a mid-table team. I'm going with Guendouzi. Yeah, that's right, Arsenal. I'm sorry. Guendouzi, I'm giving a +3 rating upgrade. I know maybe he doesn't deserve an 80 rating. Maybe he's more for 79. But I do think 77 is too low for him. I do think he does deserve an upgrade though, if anyone in that Arsenal team, because let's be honest, not a lot of players deserve upgrades this season. 52 clearances and 27 interceptions, along with 6 crosses. I mean, for a midfielder, I do think that is pretty good. Therefore, I do think he should be closer to being 80 rated, the young French midfielder for Arsenal. We get into the last midfielder, and I was considering an Aston Villa player like McGinn, but he has been a bit injury stricken. And as I said, I'm using purely first team players, so I would have used someone like Foden. I mean, Foden actually hasn't had that good a season, but that's an example. So I've gone with Jack Grealish. I mean, Jack Grealish is good enough to play for England themselves. He's gotten more goals than anyone else at Aston Villa this season, along with assists. 7 goals, 6 assists, more than anyone else in that team. And just bar that, just looking at the season itself for the Premier League, those are some very good stats for an attacking midfielder. And I do believe that he is 24 now. He can move to a bigger team, in my opinion. He is that good, and I do think he does deserve a huge upgrade to an 83 rated. I think that's perfect for him, and if he moved to a team like United or City, he could go up to an 84. Guys, that is the midfield. I hope you do like it. It is looking pretty strong. Now let's get into the attack. Now guys, before we get into the attack, my last 2 videos have been insane with support. Over 300 views on each, which is very rare for me. So guys, please, if you do enjoy my content, please do subscribe and put your comment suggestions down below for future videos. Plus, I'm bringing back my controversial Saturdays, where you guys give me controversial opinions about football in the comment section down below. And then I do elaborate on that, on a Saturday or whenever. You guys just put controversial comments down in the section below, please. We get into our attack, and the first one on the left wing side, I did originally start with Trezeguet, but I did end up moving it to El Ghazi, the other Aston Villa left wing, because I think the Dutch winger in general, I mean, look, his rating was too low. It's 75. I think he could get a rating up to at least 78, because I mean, 4 goals, 4 assists, 45 shots in total for Aston Villa. I do think he's not quite 80 rated yet, but I don't think he should be mid to low 70s. I think he does deserve a 78 rating. I think he's performed pretty well at Aston Villa, and he does deserve it. I mean, look, other left wings, he's only there because other left wings haven't performed either so far this Premier League seasons, and the ones that have, I mean, their ratings are pretty accurate. We get to the striker position, and to me this one was pretty easy. It is a huge upgrade, and it is going to be 77 rated Abraham to an 81. Originally I did have it at an 82, but looking at his mistakes, I mean, he's missed 17 big chances this season. He has struggled a bit with injury for a game or 2, and I mean, look, he's been so impressive for a player who's had his first proper Premier League start to a season as their main striker. I do believe he does deserve at least an 81 rating. He is that good. To think a few years ago, Jamie Vardy was 81 rated, like 2-3 years ago only. I think that with 13 goals this season in his first proper season, I mean, he could even qualify for England for the Euros. Abraham definitely deserves this huge upgrade. We get to the last player on this list, and it is going to be a Wolves player, and it is going to be Adama Traore. Adama Traore has had a pretty good season so far overall. He's gotten 4 goals and 7 assists, which I think he's really stepped up because I'm not going to lie, I didn't know who he was before the season started. Then he became a hero by beating teams and really single-handedly doing it against huge teams like Manchester City. He's become a beast of the game for Wolves in general and in the Premier League. And I think he does deserve a bit of an upgrade to an 81, in fact, an 82 rated player, because he's actually become quite a hero for Wolves overall. And you know what? I think he's performed the ex-Barcelona player. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Once again, please drop your controversial opinions down below. It would be awesome. So guys, I hope you're all doing well. Please do subscribe. I would really appreciate it and hit 400 subscribers. Guys, stay awesome. I do love every single one of you. You guys are, you know what, you guys are pretty epic. So this has been Finn. F-Y-N-N. Stay awesome. Love every single one of you. Cheers.